This video is going to introduce you to Skills and Strategies 4 from your Making Connections textbook, Continuing Ideas. So continuing ideas are ideas that a writer has introduced in an earlier sentence and then refers to again later. This is going to really help you to understand the connections between sentences and improve your writing. This is what's called a cohesive device. So cohesion is something that writers do to make things seem connected. Okay, this is something that writers do, cohesion, to make things seem like they go together, that they're related, that they're connected. And these are also great tools that you can use in your writing as well. So a lot of things that you learn in reading will also help you in your writing. Let's look at some examples and explanations. So here, last year, there was a continuous violence in several areas of the country. This caused many people to leave the country and look for a safer place for their families. So just simply the word this or these, if it's plural, can be used. This is a pronoun that could be used to repeat an idea from the first sentence. So here, this, we see that in the sentence here. And it's used to talk about violence in several areas of the country. In the next example, we see another continuing idea here. We see this decision. So we can also use this plus a noun. We can use this alone, or we can use this plus a noun to talk about a continued idea, an idea from the previous sentence that we want to continue in the next sentence. So here, this decision is referring to the decision to allow illegal immigrants to go to public school. We could also say these, right, for plural nouns. Look at the next example. We see these figures. So in the first example, you might have noticed that we had decide and decision. Basically the same word family. Here, however, we have statistics and figures. So not exactly the same word, but they are synonyms. So we can also use this or these plus a synonym to help us continue an idea from an earlier sentence. So these figures is continuing idea of those statistics about unemployment. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. Another way that we continue ideas is to use the plus a noun. And sometimes it's a repeated idea, but not always. In this sentence, however, the general noun tragedy is describing this tragedy that happened earlier. So the connection here between those sentences is clear. The tragedy is referring to the death of the African immigrants. Such plus a noun is another great way to repeat an idea. So such a move here is referring back to the government wanting to increase. All right, let's kind of keep going to the next page. As mentioned before, writers often use this, these, the, and such as continuing idea markers, and they're often used together with a noun, either the same word or a word from the word family or a synonym from an earlier sentence. And here is a list of general words that often follow continuing idea markers. And they fall into different categories. So for things that happen, events, you can use the words here to continue ideas. For things that people do, you've got a list here. For things that people say or write, kind of like different ways that you can repeat those things. And then for things that people think. So those are often words that you might see following this, these, the, such, and they might be words that are continuing an idea from a previous sentence. So to sum up, look for continuing idea markers. This, these, this alone, the plus a repeated noun, a synonym, or such plus a noun. And then ask yourself, what is the idea that's being continued? If you're not sure, go back to the previous sentence before the marker. Use your knowledge of vocabulary, general words, synonyms, and word families to really help you understand these ideas that are connected together. All right, so before I finish this video, I just want to walk you through the homework a little bit. So you'll do skill practice 1, 2, and 3. In skill practice 1, you're going to be looking at the noun and trying to figure out which noun best continues the idea from the first sentence. So here, in the example they've done for you, possibility is the answer choice here. So what you can look back at is look at chance for success. That's really similar to possibility. So that makes sense that possibility would be the best word to continue that idea. I'm just going to do number 2 for you. So doing a little bit of your homework for you, but I want to do one more example. In 1968, a resident of Brooklyn, New York found the remains of a 19th century African American settlement. This blank. Okay, which word from the box would best connect those together? And go ahead and pause the video and think about it if you need to. If you said that discovery was the correct answer, good job, discovery. You are right. Now, what clue did you use to help you figure out that discovery? Hopefully you saw found, right? If you find something, that's similar to the meaning of discovery. So that was the best answer choice, right? You'll do the rest of those on your own. Now let's take a quick look at skill practice 2. In skill practice 2, you're just going to circle the continuing idea marker and then answer the question that follows. So here they found this, their continuing idea marker, and then what made the journey possible? Well, guess what? The answer to this question is the idea that's being continued. So here I could say, right, the lower cost of travel. Let's do the next one together. On many farms in Europe, the soil was thin and rocky. This made it harder for farmers to grow crops to feed their families. Go ahead and pause the video for a moment, find the continuing idea marker, and answer the question. Okay, great job. Hopefully, you decided that this is the continuing idea marker. Now, to help me answer the question, what made it hard to grow crops? This made it hard to grow crops. So what is this referring to? The soil was thin and rocky. So I could say the thin and rocky soil as the answer to that question. The idea that's being continued is the answer to my question. Okay. All right. And now I want to do just one more with you from skill practice 3. So on to the next page. Here you're going to find the noun that best continues an idea from the first. You want to look at the word in bold because we're looking at synonyms, right? Remember that a synonym plus this or these or the or such can help you to continue an idea from the previous sentence. So I just want to do one together with you, and then you'll have the rest on your own. So the word that I'm looking for in number 1 is modifications. The government has made several modifications to the university admission test. There's a new writing section and a longer vocabulary section. These blank mean that school students will have to practice different skills to prepare for the test. Okay, there's a lot of clues here, but modification is your best clue. So now look in the box and decide which is a synonym for modifications. Go ahead and pause if you need to. Okay, great job. Did you come up with changes? If you did, you are correct. Changes is a synonym for modifications. So that's a great general noun to use here, these changes, to continue the idea of the modifications from the previous sentences. All right, if you have any questions about continuing ideas, please post to the discussion board questions asked and answered, or send me an email. Good luck.